or online at bionicspotlight.ca.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. To upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
When severe weather strikes, get critical information through StormCentre on our app, website, and TV channel. Stay ahead of active weather.
You know how much I love you.
It's a great day to get out there and enjoy those fall colors.
This program is brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. When it comes to property damage, water, fire, storms, it's no time for second best.
Well, the worst is certainly over in southern BC. Those winds have started to ease now that the front has passed, but we are going to continue to see those showers as that lingering moisture moves on through. We'll actually see some clearing for Wednesday. You might even get a peek at that sun. Remember what that looks like? Just before our next system moves in later Wednesday night. That's going to be with us through Thursday and Friday. So we're halfway through the week by tomorrow. So what are we going to see for the next few days? We're still going to look at another 40 to 50 millimeters for much of the lower mainland. And on the backside of that, we'll look at some high pressure moving in. The moisture we saw yesterday, that's going to spark this Alberta clipper, primarily impacting Saskatchewan and Manitoba. You see it stalling over Manitoba. That's as a Texas low starts to influence it, pushing in a lot of moisture. And look at those northerly winds on the backside. We are going to look at a temperature drop, but we're primarily going to be looking at some strong winds. And that's going to be blowing around potentially 40, maybe even 50 centimeters of snow on the south side of those inner lakes. So blowing snow, drifting snow, and intense accumulations right along Highway 1, Brandon, primarily over towards Winnipeg as well. The warm sector, that's going to be provided by this Texas low. So this is another way to look at it. So southern Ontario, you're going to see that front slowly make its way in through Thursday. We're going to see the increase of the cloud. The rain's going to hold off until the overnight hours. Look how far north that rain line is getting, right up towards James Bay, all of Lake Superior. Thunder Bay is even going to be 8 degrees in rain. So the snow is going to be on the backside and well up to the northwest. Before we get to the system, we are going to see just a few showers moving through Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, just about 5 to 10 millimeters, just to kind of wetten the roads a bit. In Atlantic Canada, we're going to see those showers from the Great Lakes move in for Wednesday, grabbing some Atlantic moisture as they do so. We'll be looking at 20 to 30 millimeters for the southern Maritimes, maybe some snow mixing in for central Newfoundland, and we do have some special weather statements in place for that.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. To upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
When severe weather strikes, get critical information through StormCentre on our app, website, and TV channel. Stay ahead of active weather.
Roll right up, right track.
StormCentre informs you about upcoming severe weather.
It is so windy right now.
Whether you're on our app, website, or watching on TV, stay safe and prepared with StormCentre.
This program is brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. When it comes to property damage, water, fire, storms, it's
From
no
a West
time
Coast
for
weather
second
bomb
best.
to a snowy Alberta clipper. We are going to continue to track this energy as it heads across Canada, moving east and starting off for a snowy system in northern Alberta, especially around Fort McMurray and Cold Lake. For your Tuesday evening into your Wednesday morning, expect that snowfall as the system treks into Saskatchewan. It will pick up a bit of steam, but if you find yourself underneath this freezing line, that's where we're going to be seeing some mixed, some wet snow. So do keep that in mind Wednesday morning. And that will continue its movement towards southern Manitoba by your Wednesday late morning into the afternoon, gaining a little bit of strength moving into northwestern Ontario. And for your early Thursday morning, have a look where that freezing line is. Thunder Bay through to Winnipeg. You can start off your Thursday with mixed precipitation, maybe those wet flurries, but heading throughout Thursday, that cold northerly air is going to push that freezing level right around Lake Superior. So snow looks to dominate northwestern Ontario and southern Manitoba for your Thursday. When we couple that with these gusty conditions, once this low really begins its development, we could be seeing gusts in the 50 to 90 kilometer per hour range. With those heavy precipitation rates, it's going to be a very tricky drive, especially Thursday morning and into your evening along that Trans-Canada Highway, southern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario. Take extra care. Make sure you're only getting out on the roadways if you do have winter tires. We are watching winter storm warnings and watches in effect, especially around the lakes of Manitoba. They're running a little bit warmer than average, so that's going to produce a little bit of lake enhancement when this system makes its way over. Locally speaking, up to 40, maybe even 50 centimeters through Dauphin, south of Winnipeg, and then heading into northwestern Ontario. A bit of the same as that system develops. We could be seeing 20 to 40 centimeters as we close out this week.
And lots of yum.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. To upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
When severe weather strikes, get critical information through StormCentre on our app, website, and TV channel. Stay ahead of active weather.
informs you about upcoming severe weather.
It is so windy right now.
Whether you're on our app, website, or watching on TV, stay safe and prepared with StormCentre.
This program is brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. When it comes to property damage, water, fire, storms, it's no time for second best.
Well, winter storm watches and warnings blanket the Prairies and Northwestern Ontario as we track this Alberta Clipper, bringing widespread snowfall throughout Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba as we head into your Wednesday morning. And this looks to linger into Friday for the southern parts of Manitoba and Northwestern Ontario. As the system treks east, it will be picking up a bit of steam, creating gusty winds, especially on Thursday. Expect those wind gusts in the 50 to 90 kilometer per hour range. So when we couple that with the heavy snowfall, we could be getting into near zero visibility through your Thursday and blowing snow conditions. So do keep that in mind along the Trans-Canada, especially in eastern Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba, and northwestern Ontario. Maybe do not get out on the roadways if you do not have your winter tires. In terms of snowfall amounts, well, the heaviest will be in through Dauphin, where we have a little bit of lake enhancement with the warm waters of Manitoba's lakes, and then in through northwestern Ontario, anywhere from 20 to 40 centimeters through Ear Falls and Armstrong. That same system will eventually make way into the Great Lakes, but high pressure dominates in the short term for your Wednesday. And as we get into your late Thursday, there's that heavier precipitation, and that will begin to trickle into southern Quebec by the time we get to your Friday early morning. Meanwhile, over in Atlantic Canada, we are watching quite warm conditions, but that rainfall, the icon's giving it away. A precipitation system will be making its way through Nova Scotia as you head into your Wednesday, lingering throughout. By the time it makes its way east into the Avalon Peninsula, it'll pick up a bit of steam, rapidly intensifying. We could be seeing lots of snowfall and rain for the Avalon as we head through the rest of your work week. So do keep that in mind. Anywhere from 20 to 30 millimeters is expected there. Finally, over in British Columbia, we are watching that weather bomb finally give way. Conditions improving throughout your Wednesday, but really not lasting long. We will watch precipitation moving in Wednesday overnight, and then once more as we head into your Thursday with temperatures teetering on that seasonal mark and our freezing levels dropping.
And today, that snowing somewhere is in the Prairies. Temperature still warm enough in Regina at 7 degrees. You've actually been seeing some rain this morning, but further north to Saskatoon, Prince Albert, you're into the snow, and that you'll see your rain mix over to snow in Winnipeg today as temperatures start to fall through the course of the day. Timing this system out, light snow in northeastern Alberta moving across central Saskatchewan. As that low moves eastwards, there's initially your rain in Winnipeg, but look towards Brandon and Portage La Prairie even, getting into that snow. Heavier snow starts to arrive down, say, towards Regina. Overnight hours, eastern Saskatchewan, certainly through the parklands of Manitoba, and it's just straight snow now for Winnipeg, and the winds picking up tonight through tomorrow, blowing snow extensive. Notice that the snow through Thursday evening should be out of Regina and Saskatoon, and then by Friday into southern Manitoba. Let's talk about Ontario now, because you're not going to be immune from this storm system. It's high pressure in the south, foggy in the southwest this morning, pleasant conditions in the south for you today. Snow in Kenora, likely around the dinner hour or so, and then you'll see towards Thunder Bay and the shores of Superior, warm enough for rain, but as you move northwards, that will be transitioning to snow, meaning sections of Highway 1 and Highway 17 could be rather dicey. And then that snow will continue northwestern Ontario right through the night, right through tomorrow, probably not changing into snow to Thunder Bay till likely late Thursday or early Friday. Meanwhile, that'll be rain showers arriving late Thursday across southwestern Ontario. Friday morning, that will be in Toronto. Friday afternoon, or Thursday night to Friday morning, Toronto, and Friday afternoon in towards Ottawa and Montreal. But here's the snowfall totals that we are expecting, and look at these higher totals, 20 to 40 plus centimeters. This will be accompanied by some strengthening winds as well. So that would be very dicey travel as a wintry wallop arrives. All right, well, we will be talking about the gales of November and some heavy snow, but turning our attention a little further west, Jesse Uppo, let's begin in the Prairies, where a wintry wallop is en route.
It certainly is, Chris. And you know what's interesting about this? Yes, we know it's heavy snowfall. It's the Prairies. It's the shoulder season. So this is not absolutely unusual, but we are dealing with two systems colliding here, which is providing not only the cold air, but also the moisture, which is a perfect recipe for heavy amounts of snow. Chris, nearly up to, in some areas, 40, 50 centimeters.
At higher elevations, also there'll be some lake effect snow and the wind. Now we're picking things up Thursday morning, so tomorrow morning, rough travel in southeastern Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and northwestern Ontario. Gusts could get up to 80 kilometers per hour, so you know that means whiteout conditions. There may be some road closures to contend with, and this will likely continue through Friday, especially into northwestern areas of Ontario. Jesse, we've also got a strengthening storm moving eastwards in the East Coast.
Yes, we do. This one, I mean, quiet to start across the Maritimes. You do have that blip of heavy rainfall for Nova Scotia. It will interact with colder air as it pushes east, so there's a mix of wintry weather on the way for Newfoundland.
All right, and now you're in the know.
This program is brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. When it comes to property damage, water, fire, storms, it's no time for second best.
Prairie provinces, northern Ontario getting their first real taste of winter. Heavy snowfall, powerful winds on the way. Winnipeg just getting started. We love your videos, by the way. They really make the show. You can tag us on social media. Want to see your stuff there. It's Remembrance Day on Thursday, so now we're talking about a snowstorm and Remembrance Day combined in places like Regina and Winnipeg. It will not be pleasant being out there, especially because of the wind. You don't want to drive anywhere if you don't have to. We're looking at rain in St. John's. Vancouver is dry. Rain moves in the afternoon. In Thunder Bay, heavy rain, but it's pleasant in Toronto, in Ottawa, in Montreal. Nice start to the day for you, so should be no problems going to a cenotaph. In the meantime, these are the snowfall totals we're talking about. We're not talking about 5 or 10 centimeters for your first real snowfall of the year. For some of you, this could be 20 to 40 centimeters. Couple that with the winds, and again, this is going to be a bona fide winter storm, and that's why we have winter storm warnings. We've got snowfall warnings in place as well. Joining me is meteorologist Rachel Modestino, and you've been following this. Rachel, we're saying, you know what, maybe don't head to a cenotaph if you don't have to. If the weather is that bad, you can observe online perhaps.
Yeah, that would be the best case scenario, because as we head throughout our Thursday, we're going to watch the system actually reach its peak. There's your snow line underneath it. We can see that wet snow from Winnipeg through to Thunder Bay for your early Thursday morning hours. But as we head throughout, that will eventually hug the shorelines of Lake Superior. So snowfall is going to dominate, especially in your Thursday evening. And those big blue arrows, those are no joke. Gusty conditions, that's what's in the forecast. Anywhere from 60 to 80, possibly even reaching 90 kilometers per hour. And when you couple that with the heavy snow at times along the Trans-Canada and Highway 11, you could be getting some whiteout conditions, and it's going to be a very dangerous drive. We're also going to track this system heading into southern Ontario, but do not worry, GTA, it will be falling more so as rain Thursday overnight, tapering off by Friday morning, but that will begin to push into eastern Ontario and southern Quebec at that time, with a little bit of lake effect showers in behind. Now, in terms of rainfall, we could be seeing anywhere from 10 millimeters as you head up through the St. Lawrence. We're getting into the 20 to 30 millimeters there. And snowfall north of Quebec City, 10 centimeters on the high end and increasing as you head north. But Kim, it's not only Quebec that's seeing snowfall. I hear that Atlantic Canada will be getting some in the short term.
Yeah, I guess it's November. These things happen. We start to get the snowfall in Newfoundland, higher elevations. We'll certainly be seeing it. Thanks, Rachel. There's the low pressure system responsible. Even the Cape Breton Highlands get into a little bit of snow. Central areas of Newfoundland. The rain and the strongest winds will be for the Avalon Peninsula. It will not be a pleasant day on Thursday. Yeah, it's not great if you're headed out for Remembrance Day, but those winds are really ramping up through the late day hours. So moving towards the evening, 70, 80 km/h winds are expected. That next system, the one that's been bringing the snow to the prairies, eventually will be moving towards Atlantic Canada, and those winds will start to pick up on Friday evening in Nova Scotia. In the meantime, BC getting some more active weather, rain and snow. Alberta, you seem to be missing most of it. A little swath of snow moves through, but we're not talking about any storms for you, which is nice. And speaking of Alberta, Jan Arden posted this. She's got money in her pocket. She's got deer in her backyard. Our Tyler Hamilton asked her on Twitter, he said, "Hey Jan, can we use that on the Weather Network? We love your photo that you've posted." And she said, "Sure," as Jan Arden would. So we love Jan Arden, and I'm excited to post a picture of hers. Okay, so Alberta, pleasant day on Thursday. Edmonton 3, Calgary 3, plenty of sunshine, but rain on the BC coast.
This program is brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. When it comes to property damage, water, fire, storms, it's no time for second best.
There's the music, there's the introduction, and here is the reason. We've got snow falling in Winnipeg, the first taste of winter for the eastern prairies, northwestern Ontario as well. And we're not talking about a dusting, although that's what it looks like right now. We are talking about significant snow. Snow that takes a while to shovel, snow that is very difficult to drive in. In fact, some of these numbers are impressive. 20 to 40 plus centimeters around the lakes in Manitoba, 40 to 50 centimeters between Dryden and Ear Falls. This is a winter storm, and we've got winter storm warnings, we've got snowfall warnings in place. You're being impacted now in parts of eastern Saskatchewan, northern Saskatchewan getting some snow. So a lot of people being impacted by this particular system that's making its way across the prairies and into northern Ontario. With me is meteorologist Rachel Modestino, and she's been watching this, watching it develop, Rachel, and we know that, we have to go into StormCentre for the first major snowstorm of the season for the prairies.
Yep, and it's actually a very particularly dangerous situation when we consider the two lows that we were tracking earlier this week. They're actually going to merge right around Thunder Bay. So when we get this merging of the energy, we're going to watch on the ground gusty conditions, especially for southern Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. Expect those wind gusts for your Thursday throughout into the 80 or 90 kilometers per hour. So when we get that coupled with the heavy falling snow, we'll get some dangerous driving conditions, especially along the Trans-Canada and Yellowhead. You can see that mixing layer hugging Highway 11. So south of that, Thunder Bay getting battered with rainfall for your Thursday. This system will begin to shift east on Friday, moving through central Ontario with those gusty and heavy snow-like conditions. Eventually, this will make its way into southern Ontario, but we will be seeing primarily rain starting your late Thursday afternoon, pushing into southern Quebec by the time we get to Friday morning. And then in behind, we are going to watch some lake effect showers, especially for the Niagara Peninsula and Kincardine shoreline. So we could be getting into the 15-millimeter range, and that increases up the St. Lawrence. Now, this system is going to continue its track across Canada, eventually making its way into Atlantic Canada come the weekend. But before this happens, Kim, what is Atlantic Canada going to see in the short term?
Yeah, they're seeing some rain in the Maritimes right now. It's going to get awfully gusty in Newfoundland too, Rachel. Yeah, you're not dealing with any snowstorms currently in the Maritimes. Your temperatures are too mild for that. But there's the low pressure system moving through. Newfoundland, higher elevation snows anticipated, but Thursday is going to be a gusty day and a very wet day for you on the Avalon. Not a bad day for you in the Maritimes. In fact, you'll be seeing some sunshine, so it's okay for you, at least for now, before that storm moves in. So here we go, winds gusting 70, 80 kilometers per hour through the late day hours of Thursday and into Friday morning. You get a break, and then we see those winds starting to pick up in southern Nova Scotia, 71K in Yarmouth. That is the storm that's moving its way across the country. So you're going to start to feel the winds first before the system moves in. But right now you're dealing with 20 to 30 plus millimeters of rain on the Avalon. That's the heavy stuff. We've already seen most of the rainfall in the Maritimes already. It's clearing out through the overnight. And there's your next 3 days. I want to jump to the other side of the country because you're also getting some active weather on the BC coast. We don't want to leave you out. Rain and snow, a break, and then more rain and more snow. And we've got more in your local forecast coming up.
Thursday, November the 11th, and your Remembrance Day forecast for 11 a.m. local times. Perhaps you're heading down to the cenotaph. You should actually get in some dry breaks, although mostly cloudy in Vancouver. More cloud than sun in Toronto, but mainly dry, little brisk. We've got active weather in St. John's, rain, and the winds will be picking up. And we've got snow across Winnipeg and Regina, so be watching for that heavy rain in Thunder Bay. And across our north, -10 in Iqaluit, -10 in Whitehorse. All right, let's pick up our StormCentre coverage. This is the scene in Winnipeg yesterday when some of the snow was coming down. Snow had been mixing with rain and then going back to snow, back to rain, and should be back to snow for the rest of today. Winnipeg, we figure about locally 10 to 20 centimeters of snow for you. So you're still in the snowfall warnings. West of Prince Albert, those snowfall warnings are over. The storm is moving its way eastward, so it will improve in Saskatchewan first and improve in northern Ontario last. Right now, seeing that radar, we've got some snow and drifting snow from Saskatoon to Regina, a bit of freezing drizzle in Brandon. Winnipeg getting in the snow, highest elevations, and as well as lake effect snow bands off the big lakes will be the issue today as well, and also strengthening winds. Time now to share your weather. It is Thursday, November the 11th, Remembrance Day. Time now for 3 minutes with 3 meteorologists. We've got Nadine Powell, Jesse Uppel, Chris Murphy with you. Jesse, we'll start with you in the west because that's really where some of the most dangerous weather is occurring.
Dicey travel up ahead. We've already actually experienced slick road conditions. We throw it now to Winnipeg where the snow is falling. This is absolutely beautiful. Not so beautiful to drive in like I mentioned, but I do want to show you the extent of this low. It's actually quite interesting. It's drawing in some mild air south of the border, but it's interacting with very cold air across the Prairie provinces. And what this has equated to essentially is thunderstorms, lots of instability south of the border. There's that line of thunderstorms like I mentioned, but cooler conditions supporting the development of snow for us here across the eastern prairies, stretching now across portions of northwestern Ontario. The only areas that will actually play with some mild air are along the shorelines of Lake Superior. So heavy amounts of rain for Thunder Bay continuing into early tomorrow morning. You might see some flurries on the backside of that, but blowing snow is certainly the story heading into our Friday, up to 50 centimeters. That's right. This is certainly the heaviest amount of snow we've seen so far this season. Nadine, conditions are going to be changing slowly for the Great Lakes, I understand?
Yeah, certainly so. And I'll pick this up where you left off across northwestern Ontario, because that system also progresses to the south as well. And there is the snow that Jesse was alluding to, a thin sliver, some heavy rainfall right along the shores of Lake Superior. By this evening, you see that rain pushing into southwestern Ontario across the Greater Toronto area through the overnight and through eastern Ontario by tomorrow morning, pushing into southern Quebec. But you'll notice still on the backside, we've got snow and blowing snow across northern Ontario. And you can see there, even as we head through tomorrow evening, we've got another trough swinging through. That's the transition from warmer air to cooler air for us. So we'll be looking at lake effect rain and snow showers across parts of southern Ontario throughout the weekend. But there is that sliver of heavy rainfall along the shores of Superior, 50 to 75 millimeters of rainfall. But most of northeastern, central, southern Ontario in that about 5 to 15 millimeters, up to about 30 mils though as we head into the St. Lawrence River Valley. And north of the St. Lawrence, picking up some heavier snowfall for us as we head through tomorrow, and a little bit on the Gaspé region as we progress from Ontario in through Quebec. But Chris, into Atlantic Canada, also some tricky conditions.
Yeah, we had the rain yesterday in the Maritimes. It's generally about a 5 to 10-ish millimeter range. A lot of leaves down, and that means there could be some clogged drains. Well, that low pressure system is intensifying as it moves south of Newfoundland. Look at this beast out here. I think these two are likely going to merge. Thankfully, the worst of it will be offshore, but definitely a marine interest. So drying out the Maritimes, rain in Newfoundland, snow in the higher elevations and inland areas, and the strongest of the winds likely going to be occurring tonight. Again, that storm system is intensifying, and we could see gusts near a coastal gust near 90 kilometers per hour, Bay of Exploits down towards St. John's. And then that system that Nadine and Jesse were talking about, bringing rain this weekend into the Maritimes and Newfoundland, and for the northern peninsula, lots of snow.